You are now listening to the Hot Take
Let's
Hot
keep
Box.
it moving. Merab, Dvalishvili. This is a man I had the pleasure of seeing in person get submitted by Ricky Simone back in the day. Man, what a night that was.
Fight.
Very end of the fight. Mark Goddard comes in, says, "Oh, if he's out, he's out. He can't fight." And then they call the fight. Awesome. Cash out my Ricky Simone. I believe it was like plus 700. It was something crazy. Submission. Because I was in the building just betting crazy shit. Merab Dvalishvili is fighting Henry Cejudo, all or nothing Henry Cejudo, who fired his coach on the countdown, then said it was fake, which it wasn't. And then they had that little weirdo Captain America on, Ariel's interviewing him and stuff, and he's like, well, it's real. And, those guys both fucking suck. I hate both of them. So I would love to bet Henry Cejudo in this spot because it seems like this is the one guy, in theory, that could stop Merab's game, which is kind of just a pressure wrestling heavy sort of game where you're fighting a Olympic wrestler and a guy who should be able to keep up with you for 15 minutes all in that department, a guy who has been a double champ and all the things like that. But Ty, I just don't trust that'll be able to happen here, or that Henry Cejudo is still that guy that could do something like that. I mean, maybe 3 years ago, I probably would be betting Henry Cejudo, no doubt, but Cejudo's plus 180, 175 to Dvalishvili's minus 110, or minus 210, 220, I should say. I don't know. I would love to bet Cejudo. This is either a Cejudo or no bet for me.
Yeah. This would be an interesting fight. I don't know if I don't think I have a play on it. Just because I don't know. I don't know what we have here. I mean, it seems like they're similar styles. Cejudo is probably the better wrestler, but he's really wearing down. He hasn't fought in a little bit. Last time it was against Aljo, who trains with Merab, so maybe that works in Merab's favor. They know him very well. Getting rid of his coach seems odd. I just think he's declined his output, his athleticism, and I think he's kind of just like a little bit washed up. He does have there's good leg kicks, and that's going to be huge here to try to slow down Merab and do something because I don't think Cejudo's hands are amazing. Not that Merab's are either, but Merab's been hurt a lot, multiple times I should say, and he's just powers through it. He's so tough and also tough to just deal with. I mean, how many takedowns did he attempt in that fight? Was it 49 against Piotr Jan?
I think so.
40. He was 11 of 49. That's crazy. That's crazy. His takedown average, what is he?
A while ago, though.
It was a little bit. Yeah, he averages 6.5 takedowns landed per 15 minutes, which is just a crazy stat. It's also number 2 on this card behind Fluffy Hernandez, which is even more crazy. He had back-to-back fights where he landed 12 takedowns against Casey Kenny and poor Gustavo Lopez. He's gotten better. His hands have gotten better. His overall game has gotten better. His cardio, his jab, his chain wrestling. He just has this cauldron of activity and movement and
unbelievable
just pace and pressure, and it's just too much to deal with. I think Cejudo, in his older age, as he's slowing down, figuratively and literally, I think it's gonna be too much. I think he's gonna tire out from all this activity, and I think Merab takes the decision. I'm not going to bet it just because I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I don't feel that confident, but that's just my gut. I think he's going to 29-28, or maybe he loses the first round or something. Maybe Henry can win a round. Maybe it's a split, but I got Merab here.
I will say I didn't like how Cejudo looked in the Aljamain fight overall, but I do acknowledge the fact that it was difficult for him to take Sterling down because Sterling is so much bigger than him and so much longer as a human being than him. So it was kind of more difficult. I mean, if I go through it, this is what the only thing that stops me from really feeling good, like confident about this, is that Cejudo's now 37 years old. I didn't realize that, how old he actually is getting, and taking those 3 years off was not, ideal. And he was coming off of a 3-year layoff. Excuse me, in that Sterling fight. So I don't want to shit. Sorry, excuse me. I don't want to hold that against him all that much, but you go through the different things. Would you say that Cejudo is a better wrestler than Merab?
Yeah, I think Merab also said that he's probably the better wrestler in this matchup, which is interesting. But it's just a different kind of wrestling.
Sure.
I don't understand necessarily the intricacies, but they both land takedowns at about 35%. So, they don't really care for the percentage. They're just trying to get you down. If it's not first, second, third, fourth, fifth, it's going to be that sixth attempt where they get you down. And then, it's the inability of getting back up that's really is going to hurt their opponent. So it's going to be interesting to see who really wins the battle here, who can hold who against the cage, who can get who down. I just think Merab will be able to eventually because, again, I think Henry, his athleticism has been able to, he can stave off a single leg while he's hopping around on the other leg. I don't know if that's something he can really do anymore. I don't know if he can throw shots while he's getting taken down. But I do think he can make this close and interesting. I think he can definitely take a round or two. I'm just, I guess, just wait and see mode, really.
Yeah, no, and that's a fair assessment. Would you say that Cejudo's a better striker? I would.
Yeah, probably right. I think he's
not by a crazy amount, but I think
hands.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's just the
cardio. I think the cardio is what like that.
Yeah,
tenacity
and relentless.
Yeah, really.
Kind of like Fluffy in a way. Fluffy Hernandez, does he have the best striking ever? No, it's improving. Is he physically? He's never looked. He's not jacked out of his mind for a middleweight. But what does Fluffy Hernandez do? He's got that unrelentless cardio and just dynamic ability to take you where he wants to take you. And once he gets you there, it's tough, man. He, like Petr Yan, man, he couldn't even get any opportunity to reset and keep the fight at striking range.
No.
Let alone, extended striking exchanges. So, I'm not sure what Cejudo is going to do here. I don't know. I'm actually very unsure.
It's the ultimate conversation that I always used to have about Khabib, which, they're not the same. I'm not saying that, but I just think in the sense that in order to beat a guy like Merab or Khabib who are putting constant pressure on you and you're backing up, you have to back them up. Somehow, some way, you have to put pressure on them. You have to be the aggressor because they will not know what to do if you are pushing them back. So I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. You can't be getting pushed up against the fence the entire time, and that's what those guys do. Those hard, chain wrestlers who will do everything they can to get you to the ground. They're just going to push you up against the fence, work for the takedown constantly. So that is that you have to do something about that to back them up, and maybe I don't know if it's hurt them or what it is. I another thing I can't get out of my head is Marlon Moraes having Merab going crazy all over the place. I mean, he was How many times did he knock him down during that fight? That was insane. Where he just kept
nervous.
He just kept falling down. That was
like,
wild.
I need him in my parlay. I was like, there's no way this guy survives the next minute, and he couldn't even stand.
No,
I was like, this is long over, but we made it.
How about I'm gonna go Henry Cejudo money line plus 190.
Damn, Triple C.
I just I don't know.
He's also looking at retirement. Just letting you know.
I know that's always a negative for me. I just think this is a good matchup for him. I really do. I think. If anybody's going to beat Merab, the way I'm looking at it is if anybody's going to beat Merab, it's Henry Cejudo. Really. Because I don't know who else at 35 beats him. And
it's Sugar Sean.
Sugar, I don't know. That's going to be... is he going to be able to... He's not going to be able to keep him off of him. I really...
Flying knee knockout.
That's the thing. He's going to have to hurt him on the way in, and it's going to have to get really ugly in there. And Merab is hilarious, though. Have you seen some of the shit he's been putting on Twitter, the videos and stuff?
Yeah, I kind of like it. What was the one? I forget. Fuck. I was just talking about it with either you or somebody else. I thought I brought up something that he tweeted. I could be wrong.
You saw the one video of him, like, how these people think I'm training, how these people think I'm training, and it's like all the different people, like how people in Georgia think I'm training, and he's like out in the snow, like hitting pads and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, here's the one where he's always watching how Cejudo trains.
Yeah.
He's like doing some weird shit with Figgy. He's like grabbing him and smacking him and touching him.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I know.
All right.
But also Merab and Ilya, two Georgians looking to get some W's for the country, for their homeland.
Yeah, I'm fading
be
both of
interesting.
them. I don't feel good about
I
either
love
one.
it.
I don't feel good about any of my bets. There's not one bet that I'm like, wow. My Gold Star bet's coming up, but we're not there yet. How about
You
your
are
boy?
now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.